Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Bernotas, the Director of Instrumental School Methods and Repertoire for Alfred Music. And I'm so excited to be here with one of our best-selling percussion authors, Jost Nickel, joining us for a fun interview, 5 Questions with Jost Nickel. Jost is based in Hamburg, Germany, studied at the Drummers Collective in New York, and is a tutor at the highly acclaimed University of Pop in Mannheim. Jost, thanks for joining us today for our quick, fun interview.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure doing
Absolutely.
this on Zoom. It's great.
Zoom has been a blessing, and I'm so glad that we're able to communicate cross country and
Yeah,
everywhere in the world.
yeah.
So let's hop right to it. We're going to get to our first question, which is, who was your most influential music teacher and why?
Okay, you already said that I attended a Drummers Collective in New York City, and this was when I was 21, and I had good private teachers before I went there, but I really liked two of the teachers at Drummers Collective. One is called Kim Plainfield, and the other one is called Pete Zeltman. And both of them had a very methodical way of teaching, which was new to me, and gave me the opportunity to develop my own material through the systematic approach they had. And these two were really great, and they really sparked um, my desire to come up with my own material. And so, yeah, I would name these two, and it's probably a little bit unfair to other teachers, but since you asked,
Well,
I
that's
had
not
to.
keeping anybody else out. We can have lots of different favorites for different reasons. But I
Right.
actually really appreciate that answer about how they approached the pedagogy differently, which leads me to the next question. Because you're not only an amazing performer, but an avid music educator. So, what has driven you to become an educator in addition to becoming a performer?
Um, actually, because of my experience at Drummers Collective, while I still was in New York, I immediately started creating my own material for my own good. Right, I felt like I want to explore more in this direction or in that direction, and so I used the systems I learned there to come up with my own material, and I wrote it down always,
Mm.
and so I kept on collecting exercises, and at one point I thought I want to write a book, and then it took a little more time for me to decide on a topic. But so my first book was called Groove Book. So groove is obviously the topic, and then I really enjoyed working on the book, making what I had in mind come to life on paper, and also realizing that some of the things I want to talk about need a more systematic approach, and also an easier accessibility for the reader. And so I really enjoyed that process. It's a lot of work too. So it's not only like you're partying all the time, you're enjoying it. It's like, how can I do
Yeah.
this? How can I phrase that? But then in the end, it's very satisfying when the book is finished. And the best thing is when people who work out of the book tell me that they get inspired by the exercises. So that's because this feeling is amazing. I know how it feels when you're inspired. And if I can inspire somebody to come up with something that I might not have intended at all, then that's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I don't think people always understand, like when you put together a book, it's not, you start with a bunch of exercises and then you have to have that flow and get things in order. And it is a very challenging puzzle to put together. And I
Yeah.
love hearing that the satisfying part, the excitement of bringing that connection to other people through your work is one of those inspiring things for you to do it more and to do it again. Uh,
Yeah. It's really, yeah, it's the best when people tell me they enjoy the books, then because I know the feeling how, and that's just, that's great.
it is
That's the
great.
best. Yeah.
So since you mentioned your a bunch of grooves, and I was looking at some of your performances in different grooves and the different scenarios you have to play in, being so versatile, do you have a favorite style that you like to perform in?
No, not really. I think I like music when it's an honest statement, and what I mean by that is that sometimes musicians create music because they think it might be popular with the audience, and that might lead to statements that are not really honest because you make statements in the assumption that somebody will like what you say. And I appreciate it when people care about the music first,
Mm.
and then hope to find an audience that likes that. And so that's like the integrity of the music, which I find most important. And then, of course, when it comes to musical styles, my way of playing is better when it's music with a backbeat, some
Okay.
kind of backbeat. It doesn't have to be 2 and 4 all the time, but it has to have some kind of a backbeat. So that's stylistically what I like more.
That is a great answer. And I love the approach of an organic fan base for the music. So what comes first? The art comes first, and then the followers are after that. If you're trying to write to something, you're not always going to be successful. So you have to write from the heart first, right? I mean, that's
I
fascinating.
think I think both it works for some people also who write to have a certain audience and then it works, but it doesn't work for me like that. So
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
All right. The next one is, if you weren't such an amazing drummer, what instrument would be your second choice to play or learn?
First of all, thank you very much. I always when I hear it, it's always like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, you're talking about me. Okay. Actually, I think in a band setting on stage, I would love to play bass. But when it comes to just playing an instrument that you can play alone and still make music, probably like guitar, acoustic guitar.
That's awesome.
But I have to mention I do play the piano because my first instrument was the classical piano, so I have a little bit of that. But yeah, somebody who really plays guitar nicely, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Our fifth question is probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
So make sure you're ready for this.
Okay.
What is your favorite food for dinner?
Oh no, my God! You asked me
I
this
know.
question.
I was saving the
How?
softball questions, and now I'm really getting into it.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Sushi,
Really?
Japan, Japanese food. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there you have it. That is awesome. Well, I want to thank you for spending your time with us this evening for you, this afternoon for me. It's been a pleasure having you here and getting to know you a little bit better. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and great weekend.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and I hope to see you when it's possible at some NAM show or something.
Absolutely.
So
Same
see
here.
you there.
All right. See you soon, everybody.
Bye bye.